This is Art Television.
වසරේ ජනප්‍රියතම ටෙලිනාට්‍ය නළුවා අද දිනට ප්‍රතිඵල. වසරේ ජනප්‍රියතම ටෙලිනාට්‍ය නිලිය අද දිනට ප්‍රතිඵල.
Coming up, State of Business. Sponsored by
New SLT Mobitel Home 4G LTE users. Get date offers and win valuable tab computers through a raffle draw.
IWS Aviation.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Ashine Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. The National Consumer Price Index for all items continues to rise. The Chinese ambassador seeks to finalize the Sri Lanka-China free trade agreement. News in detail. The National Consumer Price Index for all items as compiled by the Department of Census and Statistics is 167.8. This increase of 1.8 index points from 166 in January 2022 represents an increase in expenditure value of 580 rupees in the market basket. The NCPI has weights based on consumer spending in the 2012-2013 household income and expenditure survey and reflects new methods consistent with international best practices. The month-on-month changes were contributed by increases in the index value of food and non-food items by 0.59% and 0.49% respectively. For food items, increases in index values were reported for most items. However, decreases in index values were reported for vegetables, eggs, limes, green chilies, big onions and potatoes. For non-food items, increases in index values in February 2022 compared to the previous month were mainly due to the price increases in all groups except in the price indices of health, communication and education, which remained unchanged during the month. The overall rate of inflation as measured by NCPI on a year-on-year basis is 17.5% in February 2022 and inflation calculated for January 2022 was 16.8%. With respect to February 2021, the reported inflation for the month of February 2022 was mainly due to higher price levels in both food and non-food groups. Accordingly, the year-on-year inflation of the food group increased to 24.7% in February 2022 from 24.4% in January 2022, and the year-on-year inflation of the non-food group increased to 11% in February 2022 from 10.2% in January 2022. On year-on-year basis, contribution of food commodities to inflation was 11.66% in February 2022 compared to the month of February 2021. Contribution of non-food items were 5.84%. This was mainly due to price increases in all groups of items except in the group communication, which remained unchanged during this period. The moving average inflation for the month of February 2022 is 9.3%. The corresponding rate for the month of January 2022 was 8.1%. The advisory committee appointed to assist the National Economic Council has made 5 recommendations. Meeting for the first time yesterday, the advisory committee made this proposal for immediate implementation. The proposals include the immediate appointment of a technical team consisting of officials representing the central bank and the treasury to formulate programs proposing the international financial assistance. Appointment of a financial advisor immediately and a legal advisor. The technical team is to immediately come up with a reform program to propose international financial assistance, identify an expert team to assist the finance minister and focus on confidence-building measures after solving supply-related issues. The advisory committee further recommended that immediate and long-term measures be taken to stabilize and strengthen the economy. The President appointed the advisory committee this month to assist the National Economic Council in finding solutions to the prevailing economic crisis. Sri Lanka has had to face the repercussions of the adverse impacts of the pandemic and foreign wars on the economies of many major trading partners and source markets for tourism. The main consequence of the situation is a worsening foreign exchange crisis. The advisory committee is confident that these economic issues can be solved in the short term by properly managing the related challenges. Chinese Ambassador Qi Zhenghong said yesterday that the government's request for $2.5 billion in assistance is being considered by Beijing. A decision on the $1.5 billion credit facility currently under consideration is expected soon. Chinese Ambassador Qi Zhenghong told reporters that a separate loan of up to $1 billion requested by the government was also being negotiated. Ambassador Zhenghong took the opportunity to highlight government decisions in the recent past which have made Sri Lanka an attractive destination for Chinese investment. He also spoke on the Sri Lanka-China Free Trade Agreement, which he says will be of great benefit to Sri Lanka. China and Sri Lanka's fourth biggest lender behind international financial markets, the Asian Development Bank and Japan. Over the last decade, China has lent Sri Lanka more than $5 billion for the construction of highways, ports, an airport and a coal power plant. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa asked China to help restructure debt repayments when he met Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in January, but China is yet to respond to that request. The Chinese ambassador, responding to a question on the matter, stated that there may be different ways of solving the debt repayment problem. Sri Lanka needs to make nearly $7 billion in payment on foreign loans this year, including a $1 billion international sovereign bond maturing in July. Repayments to China are estimated at about $400 to $500 million. However, reserves have dipped to $2.31 billion as of end of February. The nation's economy depends heavily on tourism and trade. The pandemic has been disastrous, with the government's estimating a loss of $14 billion over the last 2 years. The economy is estimated to have contracted by 1.5% in 2021, according to the central bank. Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break.
Defying gravity doesn't define an athlete. It's the connection, a rhythm of consistency, the heart rate that makes life a sport.
With decades of precision comes a partnership between man and technology. Stay well connected at home or on the go with SLT Mobitel.
වසරේ ජනප්‍රියතම ටෙලිනාට්‍ය නළුවා අද දිනට ප්‍රතිඵල. වසරේ ජනප්‍රියතම ටෙලිනාට්‍ය නිලිය අද දිනට ප්‍රතිඵල.
Now you can buy your ultra-fast fiber connection online through sltmobitel.lk and get special discounts. Defying gravity doesn't define an athlete. It's the connection, a rhythm of consistency, the heart rate that makes life a sport.
With decades of precision comes a partnership between man and technology. Stay well connected at home or on the go with SLT Mobitel.
වසරේ ජනප්‍රියතම ටෙලිනාට්‍ය නළුවා අද දිනට ප්‍රතිඵල. වසරේ ජනප්‍රියතම ටෙලිනාට්‍ය නිලිය අද දිනට ප්‍රතිඵල.
Welcome back after the break. Ambassador Zhenghong states that finalizing the proposed free trade agreement between Sri Lanka and China would benefit the local market. Bilateral trade between the nations is currently lopsided in favor of China, and the FTA is presented as an instrument to bridge this gap. The ambassador expressed that the agreement will help establish a new market for Sri Lankan export goods and allow for further Chinese investment in Sri Lanka. Currently, China-Sri Lanka trade is constituted of $507 million in Chinese imports and $66.2 million in Sri Lankan exports. Minister of Foreign Affairs Ros G.L. Pires held discussions with the ambassador of China, Qi Zhenghong, at the Foreign Ministry on Friday. These discussions also focused on the ongoing Sri Lanka-China Free Trade Agreement negotiations. Minister Pires highlighted that the 7th round of FTA negotiations will soon commence with the support of the respective line agencies in Sri Lanka. Ambassador Key, while stating that China had signed over 26 FTAs and that other countries are already benefiting, urged Sri Lankan authorities to resume the 7th round of FTA negotiations at the earliest. The ambassador has stated that with long-standing friendly relations between the nations, China genuinely wishes Sri Lanka prosper and harbors no hidden agenda. Minister of Youth and Sports Namal Rajpaksha, speaking at an event organised in collaboration with Unilever and the Singer Fashion Academy, discussed entrepreneurship in Sri Lanka. Minister Rajpaksha highlighted the government's priority on supporting entrepreneurs, establishing a culture of entrepreneurship and facilitating technology transfer for this purpose.
විශේෂයෙන්ම ආණ්ඩුවක් විදියට සහ තරුණ සහ ක්‍රීඩා අමාත්‍යාංශයේ විදියට අපි අපේ අවධානය යොමු කරලා තියෙන ව්‍යවසායකත්ව සංවර්ධනය කිරීම සඳහා. එක පැත්තකින් රාජ්‍යාංශයත් පෞද්ගලිකාංශයත් ඒකාබද්ධව රැකියා උත්පාදනය කරනවා වගේම ඒ රැකියාවන් වලට අපේ රටේ තරුණ පරම්පරාව පුහුණුකට යොමු කරනවා වගේම මේ රටේ ව්‍යවසායක සංවර්ධනය කිරීම සඳහා සුවිශේෂී අවස්ථාවක් අපි ලබා දිය යුතුයි කියලා විශ්වාස කරනවා. පහුගිය අයවැය ලේඛනයෙන් පවා අපි රුපියල් බිලියන 30කට වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් ව්‍යවසායක සංවර්ධනය සඳහා යොමු කෙරුවා. ඒ සඳහා අපේ කුඩා ව්‍යාපාර අංශයේ සුධීර මැතිතුමා ඇතුළු විශාල කර්තව්‍යයක් කරනවා. අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා අපේ රටේ entrepreneurship culture එක එහෙම නැත්නම් ව්‍යවසායක සංස්කෘතිය අපි අපේ රටේ බිහි කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ තාක්ෂණයේ පැත්තෙන් ව්‍යවසායක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් සාමාන්‍ය කුඩා මධ්‍ය පරිමාණ ව්‍යාපාරිකයෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ටෙක් ස්ටාර්ට්අප් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නන් ටෙක් ස්ටාර්ට්අප් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේ සියල්ල එකට කළමනාකරණය කොට ව්‍යවසායකයන්ට අවශ්‍ය ව්‍යවසායක සංස්කෘතිය ද ස්ටාර්ට්අප් ඉකෝසිස්ටම් එක අපි අපේ රටේ ගොඩනැගිය යුතු කාලය ලැබිලා තියෙනවා කියන දැඩි විශ්වාසය අපි. ඒ නිසා තමයි පහුගිය අයවැයෙන් ආණ්ඩුවක් විදියටත් අපි රුපියල් බිලියන 30ක මුදලක් ව්‍යවසායක ප්‍රවර්ධනය සඳහා වෙන් කරන්න කටයුතු කරනවා.
Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a mixed note today. The All Share Price Index gained 69 points to close at 10,490.74 and the S&P SL20 dropped 6.68 points to close at 3,611.18. The turnover was 1.3 billion rupees and over 55 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.